everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Tiffany Benson, one part of Team Benson, and today I'm out getting ready to harvest a couple things for the week and talk about a couple dishes that I might be making with it. So guys, first I want to say that if you guys haven't already submitted and to be in the giveaway, make sure you look at the video. It says 2.5K giveaway and it was 2 videos ago. All you need to do is watch that one and know what to comment, and then that will enter you in to win our medicinal seed giveaway. So if you guys haven't done that, I will put that video in the link. So I love being able to come out to my garden and just think like, okay, what can I cook and what can we eat? So just looking around here, we have some turnips, we have some radishes, we have snow peas, and we have some tomatoes and some broccoli sprouts. And then I think we also can pull off some kale and maybe some collards. So let's see what all we can get. I'm probably not going to pick everything all at once just because it makes it a little bit easier to cook it and pull it as I need it. Might as well keep it out here. It's still 55 degrees here in Arizona, so it's a little cold. But let's look at the snow peas first. Now I have snow peas covering, look how big these are, covering both of my trellises. There's snow peas everywhere. And I think I'm gonna pair those with the broccoli and just do like a little stir fry, because I think that if I harvest enough of these like little broccoli florets, then I can have enough to make a stir fry. So let's see. Alright guys, so this is a decent amount of broccoli and snow peas. So I'm pretty excited about that. That's going to make a perfect stir fry. Now, a lot of people ask me what I do with my broccoli leaves and if they're edible. And yes, broccoli leaves are 100% edible. And what I do with mine is when I don't have bok choy, which I do have a little bit of bok choy left, so I'm going to harvest some of that for the stir fry also. But when I don't have, or when I do have bok choy, then I just gather all the broccoli leaves to make my green drink and my green powder. So all I do is I just collect them. The younger ones are the better ones if you're going to be stir frying them, but for the older ones that aren't like tore up by insects or anything like that, I just dry them and then grind them up and add them to my green powder mix. So right now I have a good decent size of green powder going on with all of the different types of vegetables, and it's so nice. So in a future video I will show you guys all how I do that and kind of how I make my blends. So up next over here guys, I think I have a turnip. So I'm going to pull that, try and knock some of the dirt off of it. Look at how gorgeous that is! I'm so excited! This is an insanely proud moment, and currently there is a hummingbird staring at my turnip. But this is my first turnip that I've grown. I have been getting turnips from the AZ Worm Farm, actually, from their farmers market on Saturdays for my greens, but this is my first one that I grew on my own. So I'm gonna make a small powder greens. As you guys probably know if you've watched some of my other videos, Mr. Benson doesn't like southern greens, only I do, so this is perfect for me. I think it's also about time to come in here and start pulling some of these radishes because I want to be able to get my medicinal herbs in here. So let's see. That one's a funky shaped one, but I have one right in there. And let's see if I have any more. This one might be ready to come too. It's small. I think that these might still be a little bit small, so I might let these ones grow a little bit more, but at least that gives me some room right here to start growing some medicinal herbs. Radishes have been always one of our favorite things to roast, so we will be roasting those two. I'll throw it with some other things that I find and put it all together and make a little radish roast. But if you guys aren't going to use your veggies like right away, just wash them, clean them up really good, put them in a Ziploc bag, and then put that Ziploc bag in the crisper in your refrigerator, and it'll keep for a long period of time. I didn't use all of the greens that I had started when I pulled them all a couple of days ago, which was a lot. So that turnip will be able to go with, I'll probably pull a couple more and maybe some kale to kind of make like a green blend with the turnip green tops. And yeah, they've been surviving. So now I think it's time for some tomatoes. Now guys, this giant thing has been producing so many tomatoes. They're so juicy, so I try and be really careful with them so that I don't split them. But this has been one of the healthiest tomato plants I've ever had. And these little cherry tomatoes are packed with so much flavor. So I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna see how many I can find, but there are a ton in here. So this tomato plant on my my patio trellis is the exact same one as the other one, because I tried them and they do taste a lot alike. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get that one too. Now guys, I've been seeing some damage on my tomato plants like this, and that is because we had crazy wind and weather and it broke a lot of my tomato plant stems. So I just have to come on here and basically prune it all and make sure that it stays healthy. So we got a decent amount of tomatoes, but we have more up here. So we're gonna go up here and collect a couple more. And I see a couple of red shishito peppers too as well, so that's gonna be nice, a little treat. So one of the things I wanted to tell you guys is that with the 2K or 2.5K giveaway responses, I got a lot of people saying that they had stomach issues or they were trying different herbs for their stomach. And so one of the things that I put in a poll on our community page, motorcycle. So one of the things that I put in a poll on our community page is if you guys would like to see some of the recipes that I use for my family to prepare our bodies for different things. Stomach issues are always one of the biggest ones that leads to bad health, because your stomach and your whole GI system are what absorbs all the nutrients in your body. So with that said, you want to make sure that you're keeping that really, really healthy. So I do a couple things before, like maybe big meals, or maybe before we're traveling, or different things like that, or when we come back from traveling, just to kind of keep our bodies kind of in tune with one another. So if you guys want to see videos like that, click on the community tab and then vote and let me know which one. So we got a bunch more red tomatoes over here. I think there's probably 3 that I could go ahead and get. So I'm gonna grab these ones. This one is my Bush Goliath, and the Bush Goliath, it's supposed to just grow what it grows, but it also started flowering again, so maybe it might give me more. So if you guys ever want to know what it's like to be a garden YouTuber in the city next to a busy street, pretty much means pausing every 5 minutes for a motorcycle. Like, who has this many motorcycles? Only in Arizona. Now these ones are for my Bush Goliath, and look, they're kind of a decent size, guys. Like, they're pretty big. These are kind of like a saladette size. They're not like the big jumbo slicers, but I love to have these on for Taco Tuesday because they have a lot of flavor, but they're not as like crazy, like super tomato flavor as like the cherry tomatoes, so it doesn't take a lot out of the dish. And I love to put the cherry tomatoes in my lemon butter chicken dish. So that's what I'm going to be doing with those, and then the Goliath ones I'm going to use for Taco Tuesday. Now my Bok Choy has bolted, and look at those happy little bees just all over it. So I'm only going to get a couple leaves of the purple lady one, and I'll probably wait until the bees aren't over here so I don't disturb them. But these ones, they're about spent. As you can see, the regular leaves are starting to turn a little bit yellow. I am leaving these for the bees since I don't have a lot of flowers in my garden right now. So moving on to my Brassica bed, I have a lot going on in here. As you can see, it's already full again. So I'm going to get some of the kale for my greens mix, and then I also think I'm going to come in here and get a couple of these bigger collards too as well. Alright guys, I had to show you this really quick because it looks like there's still hope for a cabbage by St. Patty's Day. You guys keep your fingers crossed for me. But I gave the kale a really big haircut, and I gave the collards a really big haircut. I left this open for 3 days of it being raining, and I found aphids. So I gave everything a really big haircut. I am going to now close this, and hopefully that fixes the problem. Alright guys, so I have my tunnel back covered. Now I had left it open because there were bees that were all on the mustard greens since those had gone to seed, and then also it's been raining for the past 3 days. Well, that brought in some aphids, especially on the mustard greens. They were actually covered in aphids. So I went ahead and I pulled those out, and I just gave the leaves a really good rinse, and I pruned everything. So I don't see any aphids on the leaves right now. Aphids will attack your older leaves, so make sure you guys are checking like the undersides of those to make sure that those are perfect. And then I just put the row cover back over it, and hopefully I didn't ruin things by leaving it open for 3 days. So the last thing I'm going to get is some lettuce, because right now this little thing is out of control, and since this one is open, I don't want it to get aphids. So I'm going to actually grab a separate bucket and I'm going to get the lettuce. So guys, I thought this tower was going to be way worse with aphids, but it actually wasn't that bad. That's because I prune it all the time. Every single week we come out here for salads. And as you can see, I have a big bucket of salads. So I think this is probably going to be at least maybe 2 to 3 salads. So at least 3 people's lunches. Alright guys, so the sun is barely starting to come out, but it's still pretty cold. Now, I did get a lot of lettuce. Now, for those of you guys that are wondering if we're going to be using this for Taco Tuesday, no. I only picked the lettuce I need for Taco Tuesday on Tuesday because, you know, it's already there. So this is just going to be for salads. So just to wrap up what we got here, we have about 2 to 3 salads. We have, with all of this kale, I'm going to be able to make another kale and sausage soup. And then also I'm going to take part of the kale, put it with the collard greens, because I got a bunch of those too, and the turnip, and I'm going to make collard greens and turnips, and, well, greens and turnips, like southern greens. And then I also have some broccoli in here, and the broccoli is going to go with the snow peas and the bok choy, and that is going to be a stir fry. The tomatoes, these tomatoes are going to be Taco Tuesday, and these tomatoes are going to go in the lemon butter chicken. And then the radishes, I only have 2 of the radishes, so I think I'm just going to put those on the salad. So I think that that's what I'm going to be able to have for the week. There are some rat tail radishes that I'll be able to grab, and we still have some spinach inside and some, I think some more kale inside too, because the kale plants are just throwing out leaves like nobody's business. Some people have asked me if I'm able to grow all of my family's needs for vegetables each week, and yes and no. Some weeks I make things like chimichurri, so I'm only using parsley for that dinner, or I'm not putting like green leafy things or different things like that. And during this time the garden produces a lot. So during the spring, the fall, and beginning of the summer, there's tons of things that are in the garden, so we're able to pick a pretty decent amount. Now, I do try and grow a wide variety of things so that we have a couple things to pick from, but there are some things that I just want, so I will go to a farmer's market and grab a couple things like that. Like sometimes I need carrots, and my carrots aren't ready yet, nor did I grow enough carrots. So, I mean, it's very rare that I'm like, ooh, I want a carrot, but sometimes I like to make a beef stew. And potatoes and different things like that, and onions and garlic is another thing that I have to get from the farmer's market. But this is a lot of stuff that I can provide my family with. So I do encourage you guys to make sure you're taking even the space that you have, because all of this came out of one lettuce tower that cost me $6 to make. Well, $6 plus dirt and seeds. So, you know, that is a lot of lettuce that I'm getting every single week. Just that, you know, just if that just took that cost alone, it would be a pretty big cost over time. So I encourage you all to take whatever space you have and grow yourselves a garden, because even a small space can provide you with tons of food. Bye guys.